With trial and tribulation comes the opportunity for growth, wisdom, understanding, and the ingredients needed to make the most out of life thereafter. My name is Alvin. I'm the producer of the podcast and a creative job coach here at M.A.R.C. And with this show, we want to give a voice to the voiceless and help to present the stories of true warriors. Each episode is different. Different hosts, different guests, different points of views. But the main idea is to show what a second chance at life means to the TBI community. As we bridge the gap between survivors, their teams, their families, and the people who are oblivious to this cause, we hope to bring positivity and light to the world. We don't take it lightly that you tuned in. Your support is greatly appreciated. Be sure to visit our website at marktherapies.com and also follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube at M.A.R.C Therapies to stay up to date on all things M.A.R.C. Have a wonderful day, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to Live, home of the Overcomers, a podcast where we explore the new lives of TBI survivors and the people who support their journey. I'm Tim, and each episode we dive into the stories of resilience, recovery, and what it takes to build a new life after a brain injury. This is Jordan.
How's it going? I'm Jordan, PTA here at M.A.R.C.
PTA stands for
Physical Therapist Assistant.
Physical Therapist, okay. Tell us about yourself, Jordan.
Well, I'm a PTA. I like to rock climb for fun. I've been a personal trainer, CrossFit coach, everything fitness for a good 8 years now.
Oh, okay. What got you into the field?
Probably my own fitness journey. I was pretty unhealthy, drank a lot of pop, ate a lot of fast food, started getting kidney stones pretty young. So changed my lifestyle, realized what it could do for me, and got good at helping other people change their lives as well.
How long have you been in the field?
Well, I've been a PTA for 3 years now, 3.5. Like I said, all together about 8.
Okay. And what did you do before you got into the field?
Before I actually wanted to be a veterinarian, so it was a big career shift for me. Went to Michigan State for that, and then I was doing the personal training and everything on the side, so transitioned into this.
And how does your experience differ between survivors?
Between survivors, I mean, person to person, we're all different, right? Like, just the drastic difference in cases I see here, different levels of function.
People need different
kinds of
therapy.
There's no more diverse physical therapy setting, I think, than somewhere like here, yeah.
Tell us a time when you helped reveal or help a survivor rediscover a skill or talent.
A skill or talent? I think balance and just gait, probably the most common here. It's always fun to watch people start walking again or, walk with less assistance than they used to, or, just do something that maybe that they thought they couldn't do. That's probably my favorite thing.
Okay, how do you feel M.A.R.C's work program has helped survivors?
I mean, there's no other place like this that I've seen. We got everything covered, right? We got music, art, every therapy you want. Like, people come here, make a paycheck, find purpose. Hard to say enough good things.
And can you tell me, how has the job affected you in your personal life?
My personal life? I don't know. I'm happier to come to work, I enjoy my job, so makes life a little easier, I
Okay.
guess, for me.
Well, I say thank you. We need us survivors. Need all the help we can find.
Thank you.
That's it.
Hi, my name is Shelley, and I'm here with Dylan, and I'm going to be interviewing him because he works at M.A.R.C Therapies, and it's a very special place, and we want you guys all to find out about it because it's really cool. And now I'm going to hand it over to Dylan because he's going to tell us all about it. Dylan, tell us all about yourself, if you could.
Well, I am an occupational therapist. I am the business unit lead at M.A.R.C Therapies. There is many different units. Business unit is the one that found me. I've been an occupational therapist since December of 2023. I actually came to M.A.R.C Therapies as a student, and they couldn't get rid of me. I couldn't leave them. It was, it feels like home. It feels like this is the place I want to work at. It feels like, it doesn't feel like I'm working at the same time. So I used to,
Yeah, how does this compare to your last job? Does it go into your last job, or does it equal your last job?
So I had two different student placements, not necessarily a job, but in the field of occupational therapy. I would like to bring that up just because it was what I was doing before I came here as a student. I was at a hospital in acute care, and I loved it. It was fun. But the thing I did not like the most is I would see these patients once or twice, and then they would be discharged. And I don't know how they recovered. I don't know where they ended up. But here at M.A.R.C Therapies, I get to form relationships with all of the VAs, and it's more special. It's a more rewarding job to have.
Well, that's very good. So you are a staff, and then everybody else, or not everybody else, but most people are VAs. Like I'm a VA, and you are a staff, and so does the staff all get along really well, and everything goes well?
Yeah.
You guys are actually, what you're telling me is you have one point: help us have a good day.
Yeah. And that's how I feel when I come to work. I want everyone to have fun. I want it to be a productive day, but also just have fun while we're at work. Let's enjoy the day. Let's,
Yeah,
let's have a good time.
yeah, because being a survivor, we don't have very many good days. So this place being open for us is just fantastic. Everything, it's great. Dylan is a large part of my days, and he helps me out a
Appreciate
lot.
that.
He helps me out a lot, and this place is wonderful. I really love this place. But I want to get back to you. How do you feel about how do you feel about the work programs helping survivors? How do you feel? Like, does it? You obviously you think it does, but I mean, so when you're coming into work, you're like, do you ponder what you're gonna do with us that day, or?
So how I plan out my day, it's mainly on your guys' interests. I try to give you guys jobs that you're interested in, to either learn these skills that you're interested in, or just work on different projects that you've maybe done in the past. Maybe you've done when you were younger and you want to get back to it. I think the best part about M.A.R.C Therapies is we put meaning into work tasks, jobs. It's a more meaningful job.
So you think that we're putting everything into it, our body, our whole mind and stuff into it. And we need that because we need to get our minds back to working.
Yep.
In that kind of field. And I'm telling you what, I'm a VA, but this place is wonderful. It's so great. It's just they're so nice to everybody, and Dylan including, but I mean, it's a nice place to work, and obviously Dylan has told you it's a nice place to work. Okay, now the other thing is how is this affecting you at home?
I feel like M.A.R.C Therapies has taught me patience. I wasn't really the most patient person. I feel like this job has taught me patience, and to kind of sit back and let whoever I'm speaking to respond, give them that time to really figure out what they want to say, what they want to put out.
What they're trying to. Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
So it's giving you a lot of patience.
Yes.
Which is what we all need.
Yes.
And I don't have any. But okay, I have questions. Okay, what? Okay. What did you do before you got here? You already told me that you were an occupational therapist.
Yes. So before while I was in the OT program at EMU, I was a caregiver. So it was at their house, and it was for an individual with cerebral palsy, and it really taught me a lot and really, secured my thoughts of this is what I want to do with my life. Like I want to help people. I want to care for people, and I'm glad I found my home.
Oh, that's so awesome that you found your home by just figuring out, you're helping somebody, and then you're like, wait, I like this. This is what I want to
Yeah.
do. And you brought it. This place is wonderful that you came in here in this place. I worked back in a computer lab with you, and we do great things back there. It's great. This place is great. And Dylan helps me with everything. Dylan knows what to do every time. It's like, how do you do that? But it's really great. Dylan's really helped me out a lot. I know he's helped other people out a lot too. And one more question is that I was going to ask you, how do you like your job here?
Shelly,
Yes.
I love my job here.
You love your job here.
Like I said, it doesn't feel like I'm working, and I feel like that's the most special thing is it. I love coming here. I want to come here. I'm excited to come here because it doesn't feel like work.
That's really cool.
Right.
Because we all know that work is work, and it's kind of hard, or it's just it's work. But I mean, I work at 2 different jobs, and this place, I started working here 1 day a week, and I flipped it up to 3 days a week because I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't leave me.
No, I couldn't.
You needed more time with me.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm really bad at this. Okay. How did you? Okay. Oh, I'm really bad, you guys. What? Okay, we already did that. How long have you been in this field?
So I got licensed in December of 2023. So it's about over a year now and a few months that I've been a licensed occupational therapist. And
Okay.
I'm glad to be starting off my career here.
Now, when you went into college or where you took your courses, did you know that that's exactly what you wanted to do, or did you have a bunch of different classes and you went, that's what I like?
So I went from wanting to be a gym teacher to wanting to be an athletic trainer to wanting to be a nurse. And I feel like occupational therapy is kind of all of it together.
Mixed it together.
All of it mixed together in a way, if you think about it. And I didn't know occupational therapy was a thing until sophomore year of college.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
I think it would be important to advocate for occupational therapy, as you know, it helps many people, many different populations across the U.S., the world.
Yeah. We need OTs.
Yeah.
We totally need OTs. I mean, the whole world, we need occupational therapists.
Yeah.
And that's really cool that you put your whole heart into it,
Yeah.
And that's so cool. That's just neat. And I don't know what else I should be saying here, but I think that we did a pretty good job figuring out who Dylan is, and I don't know what else to write.
I think that was good.
Okay, we're gonna say break.
Break.
You're listening to Live, Home of the Overcomers, brought to you by M.A.R.C Therapies. Here, we share real stories, real challenges, and real victories from the traumatic brain injury community. But none of this would be possible without support from people like you. Every year, thousands of people in Michigan experience life-changing brain injuries. The road to recovery is long and complex, and many survivors and their families struggle to find the resources they need. The Brain Injury Association of Michigan is dedicated to providing education, advocacy, and support for those affected by brain injuries. They can't do it alone. Your donation can make a real difference. It helps fund life-changing programs, support groups, and critical resources for survivors and their loved ones. Whether it's a one-time gift or a monthly contribution, every dollar brings hope and healing to those who need it most. Visit biami.org/donate today and be part of this vital mission. It's biami.org/donate. Or simply scan the QR code to make your contribution quickly and easily. If you have any questions, reach out to the Brain Injury Association of Michigan at 810-229-5880. Your generosity has the power to change lives. Thank you for listening, for caring, and for standing with the brain injury community. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Today we're here at M.A.R.C and we're interviewing Kelly Lee today. Kelly Lee, what is your position here at M.A.R.C?
I'm an occupational therapist.
Okay, ma'am, that sounds very good. When did you start that?
I have been an OT for 25 years now.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
Were you in any other places other than M.A.R.C?
Oh, yeah. Prior to M.A.R.C, I worked at Special Tree for about 5 years. And prior to that, I was at Rainbow Rehab. And then my first job out of college was at Washtenaw County for community mental health.
Okay. When did you start work here at M.A.R.C?
I started here in January of 2022. Yeah, this is my
okay.
third year. Yep.
Glad to have you.
Thanks.
Heard very good about you.
Aw, thanks.
During your job, was there any time when was the first time you really helped someone to or assist them to get back in action and start their lives over again from an accident?
Oh, that's a hard question. That's a big question. Yeah. So the
Just
first
help.
time I remember, I mean,
Introduction. When was it first presented to you?
as an occupational therapist, my goal with everyone that I've ever seen has always been to help them be as independent as possible. I mean, that's pretty much the definition of OT. So yeah, I mean, that's always the goal. I can't think of one
No problem.
example. Yeah, but yeah.
That covers everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Tell us how you feel about your work with survivors.
Oh, I love M.A.R.C. I mean, I've always loved being an OT. I think it's been a very meaningful job for me, but I especially love being here at M.A.R.C. Yeah.
Do you find any difference between the work with any survivors or clients, rather, here at M.A.R.C?
Oh, absolutely. Every person you see is different because every person is unique, and we all bring our own personalities to the table. So.
Has that affected you in any way?
Yeah, absolutely. It's working here at M.A.R.C and working with all the different survivors has given me a great appreciation for just people's ability to bounce back and overcome some pretty traumatic events. but just persevere yeah. And everybody here works very hard, and everybody here strives to be their best, and it's inspiring to see that.
And coming here and doing this job, has it had any effect upon you or your family?
Well, like I was saying, it gives me, a sense of just, I don't know, awe that people can bounce back the way they do. But yeah, my family, so my son works here as well. He's a physical therapist here. So I think, I'd like to think that having watched me all these years work in this field and how happy it makes me, I think, hopefully that's kind of what got him here.
How do you feel M.A.R.C is actually helping people?
So I think M.A.R.C actually helps people by giving them a purpose. So prior to working at M.A.R.C, I worked with some people just in their homes. And I heard from a lot of those people that they wanted something more to do, somewhere else to be. They missed interacting with other people. They missed, meaningful employment and work.
Feeling alive.
And feeling alive, yeah, absolutely. So I think that's what M.A.R.C provides. It's a place to come and share our experiences and do productive, meaningful work.
Yes, and learn how to be yourself again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Before working here, how did you see people that had disabilities and whatnot?
I've always tried to view people with disabilities as, equals.
So
People are people,
There was
no
not
matter.
really a big change when you came here,
No.
other than the atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep.
Because being in a home and being here is two totally different things.
Yeah, when I saw people at home, you're definitely in their space, right? And I was very aware of, stepping into their life. But I feel the same way here. I'm still stepping into everybody's lives when we're working together. Yeah, just in a different space.
Okay. Has this affected you any way personally?
Outside of what we've already talked about, I just constantly feel inspired
Okay.
when I'm here. And this place brings me a lot of joy. So it's very nice to get towards the end of my professional life in such a happy place.
What kind of, like if it was to be told you were talking to someone else about M.A.R.C, what would you say to them?
Oh, when I describe where I work to other people who, don't work in like the therapy rehab community, I describe it as like a vocation, a place where people come to work.
Let's say I was someone you knew that had a disability.
Yep.
And then you saw that, hey, this would be a good place for me. What would you say to me?
Oh, to try and tell you to convince you to come here. I would say that it is a place where every day we come together and we do meaningful things together, and that everybody here is always full of joy. And it's a great place to be. It's a good community. It's definitely a sense of community here, more than any other place I've ever worked, yeah, for sure.
And would you suggest others to come here?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I would recommend M.A.R.C to anybody, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Hello, how are we doing today? My name is Leon and this is Samantha. Samantha Ironmans. And what is that you do again, man?
I'm a recreational therapist.
Okay, thank you very much, and we appreciate you being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I have been working as a recreational therapist for about 10 years now. Wow. A little over 10 years. And I've been with the same company, HCRT, which is Home and Community Recreation Therapy. That's a mouthful, so that's why we say HCRT.
Yeah. Where's that located?
It's based out of Ann Arbor,
Okay.
but we have clients really all throughout Southeast Michigan.
Okay.
So we have like, I don't know, 30 some therapists, maybe something like that. Yeah, we got a lot of people.
Okay. What
Yeah.
What got you into the field?
I always knew I wanted to work with people in some way, but I wasn't really sure what that would be or how that would look. And prior to becoming a recreational therapist, I actually worked at Schoolcraft Community College in Livonia. I worked there several years full time, and just something wasn't right, like something was missing. And I was doing searches to find different kinds of fields I could go into, and I came across recreational therapy. I read this article about someone who was working with veterans and also shelter dogs, and like how they could rehabilitate each other. And so then that got me interested about recreational therapy. And then I started going to school for that, and I found out about like all the different ways that recreational therapy can help people in all the different populations.
Okay. How long have you been in the field?
It has been just over 10 years now, and I've worked with the TBI population pretty much that whole time. I did my internship with Special Tree, and I worked on their pediatric unit.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. What did you do before you got into the field, though?
I did a variety of things at Schoolcraft College. I worked in
Such as?
their financial aid office. I worked in their distance learning department. I worked in what was called admissions and enrollment at the time. Is now different. And also their testing center.
Okay. How does your experience differ between survivors, your clients?
Well, it can vary quite a bit from client to client based on, the severity of the injury that they've had to their brain, as well as like how old they were when the injury happened. And a lot of people also have different kinds of physical needs or physical limitations, because a lot of them also have spinal cord injuries or other kinds of physical injuries. So, each client is their own individual person, and while there are some overarching similarities, it really is, I meet each person where they're at and where they're at that day, because even each person can vary day to day.
Okay, when you started, when was it the time in which it really affected you and you began to see a difference between people?
Like
and come together with them, like, this is what I want to do.
Oh, I see. It was pretty much like right away. It just felt
okay,
like
that's good.
it just felt right. And I've seen in different areas where I've been how some professionals, healthcare professionals, don't always treat the individual person as a person. Sometimes they treat them as what they've been diagnosed with, and they kind of forget who the real...
Like a name on a sheet of paper.
Exactly. Like, who's this real person under here that has real feelings and desires and needs and a life? And that's, for me, what is the most important thing that I always try to bring to my work and when I'm with my clients, is seeing them for who they really are, respecting that.
Well, is this the first time you've heard or been introduced to M.A.R.C?
I was introduced to M.A.R.C maybe 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And I honestly can't say enough wonderful things about M.A.R.C. Going back to what I was just talking about, how sometimes people in healthcare, they forget about the individuals. The total opposite here is at M.A.R.C. Like, the minute I walked in the doors here the first time, I could just feel energetically it was different here. Everybody's happy. Like, one of the clients who I work with, he came here from a different program, and one of the first things he said was, "It feels like family," and it really does. And I see it with, every observation that I come here. I see the people who work here treating the participants as real people and respecting them. And I get teared up sometimes when I talk about it because it's so valuable and really needed. And I love what M.A.R.C does here, and it provides a safe place for people to connect.
Yeah, I really appreciate that also. That's why I'm here.
That's wonderful.
Okay. Okay, in doing this job, how did you help others to feel like they were still themselves and not the problem?
There's several things I do like to do and I try to do. I think most important is always respecting where someone's at each day that I see them. It's human to have a bad day or not feel good. And so I think validating where people are at and helping them to build confidence in themselves. That's the thing that I love most, is being able to see how that can grow and change as my clients start to engage in life in the ways that they want to. Like, for a quick example, I have a client who she has been having trouble with falling, which is something that can be really problematic for folks who've had these injuries. And she has challenges with depth perception because of the way her injury impacted her brain and eyes. And so she feels a lot of fear in her body when she goes to step down from a curb, for example. And so one of the things we work on is community fitness. And when we were at the fitness center last week, she and I practiced just stepping up and stepping down.
So, like you said at the beginning, you begin to notice her more as a person than just as a client.
Yeah, what are the
became,
needs?
Like, if that was me, and you came together and you was able to talk and communicate more better, and you understood more of what was needed and able to help her.
Yeah, it's really listening to, what is it that she needs in that moment. And that day she was feeling a lot of fear with walking.
You sensed it. And that's nice to have a worker like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
How do you feel M.A.R.C Works program has helped survivors from what you have heard?
I think M.A.R.C provides an incredible place for people to come and feel safe and feel community and be respected for who they really are, and not just someone who is a TBI survivor. Everyone is so much more than just their trauma or their injury or their diagnosis. And
that's my favorite quote. Said, you come in here, it's just like coming into a new classroom.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different, no matter where you're at.
Exactly. Yeah. And I really see that here. And people are respected. And I love that.
Okay. Again, one thing that's very serious and very hard on us pertaining to the job is, how does this job affect your personal life?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Because sometimes it can be difficult because we see, as a recreational therapist, I have several clients, and sometimes I see people really struggling, and it can be hard not to take that on. And so I certainly have had, they're having fun out there. I certainly have had.
No, go ahead.
I've certainly had periods in my life where it's been really hard not to take on the emotional.
You said you're dealing with more than just, like you said, the name on a sheet of paper.
Exactly. These
You're
are real
dealing with
people.
their lives.
Exactly. With real feelings and real lives, real consequences. And so, particularly with a lot of the recent changes to auto no fault and people being denied level of care that they absolutely should have, it's infuriating. And so I have to also practice what I recommend to people, which is taking care of myself and being able to make sure that I'm engaging in my own recreational therapy and, connecting in community where I feel supported and seen, just like I recommend my clients to do. And so that's been a really important piece for me in managing that, so that I can come to my sessions and hopefully be the best version of myself that I can be in that moment for that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's something that's really has hindered a lot of people from living the lives they once did. Like, hey, I know another accident.
Sure.
Because I was taken away.
Exactly.
And, like, I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. You're just an innocent person who gets injured, and then,
You have all that help, then they say, sorry, you don't want to do that. You
Yeah.
gotta cut that.
yeah.
And doing your job, how does it how do you see any reflections? Do you have any connections with the family of these members pertaining to these situations?
Some people I do, because with the type of rec therapy work I do, I'm primarily picking my clients up from their homes, and then we go and we
Okay.
do our therapy out in the community. So because I'm in their homes a lot, I do tend to get to know their family as well. So there is a piece of that that happens, but first and foremost, my priority is always my client. And making sure that their needs are being met and supporting them and advocating for them as best as I can. And that goes even into just my own life. Like when I'm talking with people about various things, I continue to advocate for what the TBI community needs, or just people who are disabled, period. You know, like when I'm in the world, I see things that are inaccessible all the time. And that's really maddening to me, because especially with new buildings, there should be no reason why something isn't ADA compliant and accessible for someone. So I advocate in those ways too, and I'll contact companies and say like, hey, what's up with this?
I'm really enjoying this because we normally talk to people that come from group homes and different things like that. Mm-hmm. But you said you go to people that live in homes, houses. And that is a lot of big difference.
Yeah. And that's, I think one of the things that I love about recreational therapy is there is so much variety, and it is so different. And really no 2 days are the same. You know, it's, I do have some clients who live in group homes that I work with, and some, live with extended family. Some live in semi-independent apartments, but they still have kind of like some, what's the word that I want? Oversight, I guess, just to make sure that, their meds are being taken and things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really nice to have a variety of people to work with.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you today, Samantha
You too, Leon.
Ironmans, and I hope to see you again soon.
Likewise,
And
this has been a pleasure.
you too, man.
Thank
yes,
you.
I mean, yeah, yes, man.
It's okay, you're good.
All right, bro. Every voice matters. Every story inspires. From survival to strength. Remember, every day is a new day. So don't take anything for granted.
Be sure to visit our website at marktherapies.com and also follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube at M.A.R.C Therapies to stay up to date on all things M.A.R.C.